Hello everybody, Mr. Clutch here. How are you? I'm back! Now you might be saying, well, where were you? And we really didn't know you were gone. All true, because we're releasing these in episode form. There's no real way to know the time frame in between, but it's been about a month since I shot one of these episodes, and the reason is I've been quite busy on set. Shot was part of 2 movies, a TV show, and a commercial I've shot over the last 3 to 4 weeks. So time has been a little short, but we're back, and we have a real great special episode this week where we're going to be making a great Italian specialty. We're back. We have a few more episodes to go to wrap up this season, and whatever you do, no matter what, don't forget, you must please like the channel or subscribe to the channel and click the notification button so you can find out when more episodes are to come. Toodaloo. Hello, good afternoon everybody, Mr. Clutch here. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, so what does that mean? That means we're going to make an Italian dish, and we're going to make one of my personal favorites that I always loved to consume as a kid, which is stuffed peppers. And I'll probably talk about this in the previous too, so I'll cut it short here, but stuffed peppers is one of these sort of unique dishes that you just don't see out there in restaurants, various places. You can find some pre-cooked ones, pre-made ones, sometimes in a grocery store, but so that's what we're going to roll with today. And why do we make stuffed peppers today? Well, one of the reasons is, as noted, is Sunday, and an Italian household, that's what you do. But I also happen to have had some ground beef already made from a previous dish that I wanted to utilize. So get to that later. So we're going to make this quick. We're going to get right into it. First, let's talk about the ingredients. You need this. Today's recipe calls for 6 peppers, 6 stuffed peppers. Now you may see 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I'm short one. So, but we're going to go with these 6 ingredients in terms of the size of everything we use, and we'll just overstuff one of these bad boys. Color of the stuffed peppers, any color. You see here I got green, red, orange, yellow. I can use any colors you want. This, of course, is the, I think this is the Italian flag here, maybe, not sure. Back in the old days when my mom used to make this all the time, that's Frankie barking outside. Well, wait a minute. My mom used to strictly make green for some reason, but today we are going to do sort of a variety, and again, no real difference in the color. 6 peppers, you pick them up at the grocery store. A pound of ground beef. Now, typically, you brown the beef first, but this is already brown. We'll get into that later. Okay, a half a cup of diced onions. So how do you get that? You buy an onion, and you just slice and slice and slice until you can't slice anymore. You dice it. 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. Now, I don't want you can cut and cut and cut. You probably can't mince if you just have a knife. So you can pre-purchase, minced garlic, also in the grocery store. Ironically, it is typically, well, maybe this isn't ironic, but you'll find this usually in produce, not over where you find other canned and bottled stuff. You need 1 cup of cooked rice, any kind, white, brown, minute, aroni, it doesn't matter. We already have a cup of cooked white rice here because we do happen to keep a lot of white rice available around the clock, so we have that. A larger can, about a 14 ouncer, I think, of diced tomato. You can buy the can already diced. I didn't have that available. I thought I did, so I just grabbed a couple tomatoes and cut them up and diced them myself. So you can do that, or you can just buy a can of diced tomatoes. Whoops, forgot this. 1 teaspoon of salt, or as the Italians say, sale, salt. You need an 8-ounce can of, or 7, this is 8, of tomato sauce, pre-done, and you want to slice it in half. You want to put half of it into any other sort of container you have, and leave half of it in the can. We'll get into that later, why we need 2 sort of versions of that. You need 2 teaspoons, by the way, I'll have all this up here, or up there, I'm talking fast here, don't worry about it. 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. Where do you get that? Either in the spice aisle at your grocery store, or if you have one of those spice racks that you never use in your kitchen, usually this Italian seasoning is one of the things you'll find in there. And then last but not least, you need a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese, mutz. Again, I sort of thought I had that around. I didn't feel like going out to get it, so I took a whole mozzarella and I just sort of shredded it and sliced it up myself. But if you want to buy the shredded mozzarella already in the refrigerated aisle of your grocery store, you can certainly do that. Now those are all the ingredients we need, so in a minute or so we're going to dig into sort of cooking this and prepping it. In terms of what you need to cook this, you just will need a pot of boiled water, which we're going to boil in a second, and of course just a skillet here to brown your ground beef and to add some of these ingredients, which we're going to do shortly. So, going to get this water cooking, and we will be right back and start the process of making this stuffed peppers. And I will say, I didn't realize going into this that there's as many ingredients in here as there are, and I would say I'll tip my hat to my mom, who made this, pretty regularly for something that's sort of more of a rare dish, and it was one of my personal favorites. That's probably why. And there is, sort of a lot of pieces to the puzzle here, not as few as I thought. Even though it is a simple recipe, which you'll see in a minute, it is quick. A couple steps, boom, we're done. We're going to be eating these peppers. So, all right, while we're waiting for the water to boil here, we are going to just get the ground beef prepped. And again, it is already pre-browned. Usually it would not be, but I have it in here. Well, let's make believe it's not. We're going to put it on the stove, which I have set to medium here. And you just want to add in one thing for now, which is the onion that we cut earlier. And I'm going to use my world's greatest spatula to sort of mix it up. I did put a little olive oil also at the bottom of the skillet here, just to keep things moving. And we're really just going to mix the beef with the onion, and we're going to brown it. Again, maybe in post we can make this the meat look raw. But we're going to let it go for a couple of minutes just with the onion mixed in there, while we're just waiting for our water to finish boiling. And you might be wondering what we're using boiled water for. We'll get to that sort of momentarily. So here's the beef. Where's the beef? Here's the beef. So I took the liberty of getting 4 of these 5 ready. You see here, pretty much. And I left one just to sort of show you. And the one I left was the green one. A little tribute to Mom, who made green stuffed peppers all the time. Pretty simple. Because all you want to do is really chop off the head of this thing, the top, maybe about a 1/2 or 1/4 inch in. Simple cut. Then you want to just really tear out the inside, which is typically seeds, as you can see here, and some various inner workings of the pepper. Get that worked out so you have just an empty pepper here, like so. And I'm going to put these on the towel. So again, we have 5 of these ready to go. And in a moment, we're going to dip these guys in boiled water. So this part can't be any easier. The water's boiling, lower it a tad. You simply take 1 or 2 of these peppers at a time, depending how big your pot is, and you just drop them in the boiled water. And we're going to push them down, make sure they're in there. And we're going to let them sit, and we're going to boil each of these for 2 minutes. And we're just going to add the rest of the ingredients. Everything else goes in here except for the mozzarella and the other half of the sauce, which we'll do later. So, our diced tomatoes, in no particular order, I'm putting this in there. Our Italian seasoning. Minced garlic. The rice. Sale, salt. And half of that tomato sauce, that hunts. Now, we've added all these ingredients. We've got the heat on sort of low here, and we're just going to do a really good 1-minute mix here, the best we can, to get everything sort of maneuvered around. Jack this up a little bit. Using the world's #1 spatula. Oh, there's the alarm. Hey Google, stop. Our peppers here have been resting nicely on this paper towel. They're nice and drained. So we're going to take them, And we're going to flip them over, top side up, and we're going to put them into our dish here. Now this would have been perfect. Would have been perfect for 6, but like I said, we fell short one. And we have 5 peppers here. And our next step is we're going to scoop out the meat using the world's best spoon. And we're going to scoop it into these peppers, the meat mix, the rice and all that. Pretty easy. Just sort of drop it in, fill it up to the brim, each one of them. Once we got them filled, before we drop them in the oven, a few more things. First is, remember that sauce from earlier, the other half of the sauce? Yep. We're very simply going to pour a little bit of sauce on top here of each one of these. Distribute it evenly. And then we're going to take our world's best spatula and just sort of spread out the sauce a little bit. Boom. Done. Okay, now, here's what these guys are looking like. And yes, we have not gone to the cheese yet. We haven't gone to the mattresses or to the cheese. I'm going to take our 5 peppers. I'm going to cover it here with foil. I pre-cut this to the exact size. And there are sort of 3 rounds of baking you want to do here. Round 1 is with the foil on, as is where is, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So I'm going to pop this in and we'll be back in 10. Woo, it's hot. We're 10 minutes in. So phase 2 is another 15 minutes of baking, but without the foil. So we're going to take the foil off. But first, I'm going to get you to take a little peek at what we got cooking. So I'll just take the foil off. I'm going to pop it out just so you can get a look. Probably looks the same as earlier, but better. So we're getting there. So we're going to pop it back in. All right, good old 15 minutes has passed. I popped these out of the oven ahead of time here. And you'll see they're looking pretty great, pretty good. Solid, I think is a good word. And our last step is here, we're going to take the shredded mozzarella, and we're going to just drop a little bit on each one. I'm going to pop this back in the oven as is for 3 to 5 minutes. If your cheese is really shredded like it should be, stick with 3. Because I'm not shredded, I might go an extra minute or so, maybe 4 and change. Back into the oven we go. Home stretch, kids. This is it. Almost done. Okay, don't get old. MOT, moment of truth. We're popping it out and taking it out of the oven. It's done. Let's see what we're looking at. There's my backside. Okay. Oh, look at this. Take a look. Finished product. Finito. 5 peppers, the Italian flag, red, yellow, orange, green. I know orange is the flag, but this is it. This is the stuffed pepper. The Italian Sunday favorite, one of my favorites. Thanks, Mom. Anyone who's watching this, try this. And I think you'll like it for sure. And again, it's a bit of, I don't want to call it a delicacy, but it's just not a common thing that you see out there. I will typically order it in any restaurant I see it in, because I don't see it in a restaurant that often. But it's a great meal. I love it. You get your vegetables in there, your meats, your grains, and everything else. So if you like this video, this episode, of course, go back and watch the others. We're almost wrapping up season 1 here, believe it or not. And please subscribe to the channels. All you have to do is go to YouTube, log in, click the button, click the bell, the notification bell, so you get informed when the next one of these comes out. Once season 1 wraps, that's going to be it on cooking. We're going to move on to doing something else, I think, in season 2. We're still sort of working on that, but let's do it. Let's build this thing up. What do you say? All right. So until then, this is Mr. Clutch Cooks. Enjoy your Sunday or whatever day of the week it is for you.